up? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how much it costs to live in Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to create this video basically to give you guys an idea of how much cost of living in Nashville is in case any of you are interested in moving to Nashville. So I'm basically going to be covering cost of living. So that's like rent, utilities, internet, gas, all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is rent. Rent is of course going to vary based on what area of Nashville that you want to live in, what amenities you want to have in your apartment, and what your price range is. So just to give you guys an idea, if you're wanting a luxury apartment in, let's say, downtown Nashville, that's going to cost you anywhere from $1,500 to $1,700 for a one bedroom. This is all based on my research when we first moved here, and I was only looking at one bedroom apartments. I actually live in a luxury apartment in the suburbs just outside of the downtown Nashville area. So luxury apartments outside of downtown Nashville are going to vary from anywhere around $1,200 to about $1,500 for a one bedroom luxury apartment. And then of course you can also find apartments that are not luxury apartments that are like a little bit older, anywhere from $850 to about $1,000 outside of the city in the suburbs, and then closer into the city it's going to get a little bit more expensive. So I would say it kind of varies anywhere from $850 to like $1,100 basically for a one bedroom apartment in an older complex. So that kind of just varies based on if you're looking for apartments downtown or if you're looking for apartments in the suburbs. I've gotten a lot of questions about the apartment that we live in and how much we pay for rent at our apartment, and we are basically paying $1,300 for a one bedroom apartment, but we actually got a move-in special, so it was 1 month free, and if you prorate that, it's kind of like $1,200 a month rather than $1,300. But we live in a brand new apartment complex, so we're the first people to ever live in our apartment. Everything in our apartment is completely brand new. We have a really nice pool, fitness center, clubhouse, coffee bar. They're actually still in the process of building, so there are still a ton of complexes being built on the property, but they're also going to be building a dog park soon. We definitely have a lot of great amenities, therefore $1,300 is definitely a good price for everything that we're getting. Deposits are another really big thing when it comes to cost of living. I know that it's a big factor when choosing an apartment because some apartments will have much higher costs for deposits. Some apartments will have like move-in specials for deposits. So for our apartment, I think the deposit was like $700 or something, but you could either do that deposit and then get however much of it back at the end, or you could do a $250 non-refundable deposit, and that's what we chose to do. So that was basically an additional cost on top of our first month's rent when we first moved here. Our apartment also has pet rent and a pet deposit. So just to give you guys an idea, that is actually $250 for the pet deposit and then $25 a month pet rent. We actually don't have to pay pet rent or a pet deposit because I actually have an ESA card for Indio. So that's really nice because it definitely saves us there. We do have a few additional costs that we have to pay for on top of rent, which is pest control, which is $3, valet trash service, which is $25. Basically, the valet trash service is because we live on the 3rd floor of our apartment complex, so they provided us with a trash can, and then when that's filled, we just put it outside between 5 and 9, I think it is, and then somebody comes and picks it up. I've actually never lived in an apartment complex like this before. I've always lived in like duplexes, so I'm assuming that trash services like that are pretty common for big complexes like this one. And there's also a facility management fee of $11, and that's basically for the clubhouse. And at the clubhouse, they have a lot of like socials and like taco nights, wine nights, things like that. So basically that facility management fee is to pay for whenever we have like parties like that. I know that there are other complexes that do that as well, so it just depends on what apartments you're moving into. This apartment was definitely on the higher end of our budget, but we had moved here from Portland, Oregon, where an apartment like this would have been more like $1,700 to $2,000 minimum for a 1-bedroom this nice in a brand new complex. And for all of the amenities that we're getting along with it, it's definitely worth it. You can obviously find apartments for a lot less than that. It really just depends on what your preferences are, your must-haves as far as the apartment. This apartment actually has a dishwasher, washer, and dryer, which I've never had before, and those were huge things on my must-haves list when we were looking for apartments. Another big question that I get is how much we pay for electric services. So far, we've only had to pay like an average of $50 a month for our electrical services, which is crazy to me because back in Portland, where we moved from, my electrical bill was anywhere from a minimum of like $60 to, on the high end, $150, like in the winter time. Sometimes it was even more than that. So we're definitely saving a little bit there, which is nice. I was so surprised when I realized that we were only having to pay $50 for electrical because we do work from home, so we're here all of the time. We try to turn off lights, you know, when we're not like in the room, so we only will have like the light on in whatever room we're in. We're pretty good about that. But of course we're here all the time, so the fact that it's only racked up to like $50 a month is pretty great. Depending on where you're moving from, you may actually save quite a bit moving to a city like Nashville. For example, moving from Portland, Oregon, we have definitely saved in tons of areas. Electrical is one of them. Another area that we've saved a lot in is car insurance. Our car insurance is $75 a month, and that's for both of us. Back in Portland, we were actually paying like $220, I think it was, for car insurance for both of us. So obviously 75 from 220 is a huge difference. Another area that we're saving a lot in is gas. Lately, I've seen gas here for only $2 a gallon. So the other day when I was filling my gas tank, I think it was like $27 compared to, on average, I would always spend like $35 to fill my gas tank in Portland, Oregon, sometimes even $40 or $45. It just kind of depended. So we're saving a little bit there, which is nice. I don't do a ton of driving around because it's not like I'm driving to work or anything like that since I work from home. So I spend about $50 a month on gas. Internet is about the same as anywhere else. We're paying $60 for internet, and we actually have AT&T. So the apartment complex was wired for AT&T when we moved here, so we kind of didn't like have a choice really, but it was around the same price as any other internet service, so $60 kind of average. And it is actually super fast, which is nice because they wired every single unit, so it's not like the building is sharing internet. I guess it's kind of confusing to explain. I don't even quite understand it all myself, but all I know is that we're getting our own service connection basically, so we do have really fast internet. My camera died again, which I swear happens like every other time I go to record a video, so definitely need to work on that. The last thing I was going to mention was food. I figured that food isn't really like a good one to talk about just because it really depends on where you shop. So obviously if you shop at more expensive grocers like Whole Foods or places like that, you're going to be spending a lot more on food than if you shop at grocers that are less, like Walmart, places like that. But in general, food is not more expensive than anywhere else. I will say though, as far as dining downtown goes, it's definitely a lot less expensive than it was back in the Pacific Northwest. So it really just depends on where you're moving from and what you're accustomed to in the area that you are moving from. So those are all the topics that I wanted to cover. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I've gotten so many DMs of people asking me these questions about moving to Nashville, and back when I lived in Portland, I'd always get DMs about cost of living in Portland, so I figured it was going to be a helpful video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you guys aren't subscribed already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on your bell notifications to be notified whenever I have a new video. I'm doing 2 videos a week now consistently. Basically, I upload them on, I would say, Wednesday and Friday are the days I'm consistently loading on. So definitely check back for more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!